uh, I don't know. I was given a like, felt like I was given a vision, another dream, and some dreams you have, like I have that, they might be deterring me from something, but other dreams, they be real. Like I can literally see. It's so crazy. Like sometimes I want to gouge my eyes out, but I know that's God preventing me because I'm so open to a lot of stuff, and I'm very open and very friendly and just all over the place. So I had this dream, like God was like preparing me, making my steps, like I'm gonna be okay, like He's going to be, He's gonna finish what He does, you know, and it kind of frightened me. It kind of frightened me. But anyhow, so I had to go. I was supposed to go today to the shelter that I work at and scrub the showers. And I hadn't talked to them for a minute because I hadn't been around because I was working in my other job and doing a lot of social work. So I was like, do I really need to go through this? Because I went through so much hell when I went to go and serve. All I wanted to do was serve, and all I wanted to do was do the right thing. And I literally, I mean, yeah, just a really, really attacked. And people was just like, what's going on? But the reason why I got attacked and I accepted it was not just because, I felt, people think that you feel bad about it. But I just felt like God is in control. So I wanted to talk about the manufacturer, um, like, okay, say for instance, you have this airplane, okay? A manufacturer has created this freaking airplane, okay? And with the airplane, it's all new. The wings is all new and shiny. It's shined up. It's filled with oh my goodness, filled with airplane fuel and everything. All the works, new tires for when it goes down and drops its gears to land and everything, okay? With that doggone freaking airplane, it comes with a manufacturing um, document log that helps you uh, to know whether this is, how to operate it. And that's called, like, just like anything else, a manual or a rule book. Um, it tells you how to operate it, how to keep it clean, how to maintain it, what to do to keep it maintained, what not to do to keep it maintained. Uh, what will the manufacturer cover for normal wear and tear? What's his warranty? What's his warranty or its guarantee behind it? What will the warranty cover? What will it not cover? Say for instance, you know that the airplane needs freaking jet fuel to go and operate properly. Well, if you take regular gasoline and fill it up because you think it's cheaper and you think because you're going against the manufacturers, then you're liable for it. The manufacturer will not take care of it. It will not properly function. And it might operate for a little while, but after a while it will start to deteriorate. Um, and it won't operate. So the manufacturer will say, I cannot take that. Now, if you do everything that the manual says, like you maintaining it, keep it with proper jet fuel, you're refilling, you're rotating the tires, you are making sure that the gears function, you are making sure that the nose gear is in its proper place, the wingspan, the gapes are opening and closing. The flaps are closing, opening and closing shut. The exit windows are actually able to eject properly and properly close and properly seal. The exits are properly sealed and closed, and the suctions are closed. The flight deck, when it has its hatch up at top, is properly closed. You got the right tail tugs to pull a 320 and not instead of having going the cheap route doing a ER 375 tug to pull a large aircraft. If you're doing the right things that the manual has stated, then if it does become worn out and torn, it is up to the manufacturer to uphold that warranty. It goes under that warranty. So basically with me, and that's how my whole interpretation was with that, because I'm a flight attendant, so that was my closest analogy for this, and it's so crazy. But for me, going through this was like, okay, God is my manufacturer. Okay, I don't know what no other people say. Some people, they believe they have another manufacturer. Okay, that's good. But for me, in my house, uh, God is my manufacturer, and He has laws, just like that aircraft has rules and regulations to properly operate and to be governed properly to make it the best airplane that it can be. So does God. Okay, so does God. We just didn't come here and um, not have any rules or regulations. So I believe that the Bible, which is my guidebook, which is my manual, that's what came, my manual, is the way that I operate out of every circumstance. And whether I properly use it is depending on how I'm going to be successful in the world, how I'm going to be operating, and how I'm going to be better use in this dimension. Okay, so it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like I couldn't get it. But anywho, so when I was going through this, it was a lot of people like uh when I didn't have a home and I was in need, people were like just ridiculing me. First thing, they thought that I was a drug addict. And I kept telling them, God put me here. I know God put me here. You can't tell me God put me in this situation, because I've seen from God told me. Like, it can't nobody tell me no different. When you seen God, see, you can see other. But anyhow, we ain't on that. But anyhow, when I came through this experience, nobody had even known that I had already went through this experience and overcame it. So when I went through it again, I was like, I just know this is another way, because God was telling me, like, this is what, I was like, I know that's God speaking to me. I thought it was going to end sooner, but it didn't, and it will happen in God's time, because He is the manufacturer, okay? I'm just the vessel. I'm just the airplane. He was the person that created the airplane, okay? Yeah. So they was like talking about me, like, they ridiculed me when I started, and I operated out of my need, because it tells you, do not repay evil for evil or insult people when they insult you. That was the guidelines in the Bible. It says that. It's like, I think it's in First Peter 3:9. It tells you, do not repay evil for evil, but repay evil for good. Why? 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 Because that is your inheritance. That is your inheritance. So when I lost that friend who was being real mean to me and said I called CPS and all this other crazy stuff, I was not mean to. I just said, okay, God bless you. I wanted to say some more stuff, but I couldn't, okay? And I thank God for holding my tongue, because it tells you, do not do that, okay? Another thing, they started talking about, like, my homeless condition. I came from a generation of people who were just evil and downright mean, and no, my people, they are all serving. Most of them are in churches. Some of them had to step back because of some crazy stuff, but most of them are still serving outside ministry, all that other stuff, okay? They talked about my speech condition, okay? When I start crying, I don't know about anyone else, but when I start crying, because I know French and Creole, okay? So I have a different dialect, I did learn English at a early age. I actually learned like two languages at the same time, because I had to be jumped to and fro. Like, my father really was an immigrant, like, really, 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 really was, and my mom was in prison for all that other stuff. So I had to really learn another language. When I cry, sometimes it's kind of hard, or when I'm sad, you can hear my accent a little bit. You can hear it. Sometimes it gets really pungent if I'm, because you're not conscious of it. Now I'm conscious of what I'm trying to get through. So I'm going to try to speak proper and correct as I possibly can. But however, I can't do it. I won't be able to speak, and they would just talk about me. What else? oh, she's been abandoned, her ex did this and you should be doing this and you should go after him. Yeah, I could have took his money. Yeah, I could have did all that. But like I said, I believe in the manual. The manual states, don't do evil. Don't repay people evil for evil. Yes, there are evil people out here. There's some really, really horrible people out here. And sometimes it makes you want to be like, how much can you actually take from someone? But you got to remember who your manufacturer is. And that's all I kept saying. Like, God, if this is you and you are, I'm under your warranty. I am under your guidelines. I am under your warranty. Like, I'm doing this because I believe in what you say. And if you say this is true, I'm going off on faith and believing that it's true, and I'm going to operate out of it. Okay. So as I'm fast forward, okay, so this is happening. I have all this craziness going through it, and I'm like, I'm still going to serve. I kept serving. I didn't even know I was touching people's lives as I was going through it. I was homeless, serving at this homeless shelter. I was like going through the most. People were trying to sexually harass me. One man tried to pimp me out. Some of the workers there were like total demonic. I mean, like, try to cast spells. They just doing crazy stuff. What's all that? Burger, fresh fries? I don't know what that is. But they were doing so much crazy stuff to the point where I couldn't, like, I felt like I really wanted to give up. But I had to say, God, it is you. 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 And it was a lot of stuff that I saw that was bad. And I couldn't even say, it wasn't like I couldn't say anything, but I couldn't go and tell the person that looked like they were in charge of saying it, because it looked like they were all captured in together. So it like tripped me out. So it's basically, who is the manufacturer? If you believe on that Bible for me is how I operate out of everyday life. I had a situation at the shelter where they were trying to say that I was going offerings. What's offerings? I don't know. It was a situation where they tried to say that I was I was engaged with someone else at the shelter, being showing disorderly conduct, just a lot of things. Oh, getting a low battery. Showing a lot of things, but I had to like literally just go through it and just pray, God, you know what? You see me. You are my help. This is what I'm going based off of. And at the beginning, during this whole time, I didn't get justified. I mean, people were looking at me bad. They were saying bad things about me, but I had to keep going on. Now, eventually I got up and I left, and God gave me an opening to get a job where I was doing more social work, but when I came back today was like revelation, because it was like I had to handle that with dignity and respect, because like I said, the Bible tells you that you have to control, you have to be wise in your dealings. It doesn't matter about what is right and what is not right. It's based off of righteousness, what is based off of that guarantee, and it was talking about, I could not remember. Yeah, that's real bad, but you know what? God is a healer. God is the spell breaker. He breaks the yoke. So it's just like that. And you know what? Actually, I'm kind of grateful for it, because it shows me how my God is, how he's a provider, and how he, delivers us all if you follow him. That's just like what I'm talking about in this whole rule book. In the Bible, it tells you that. It doesn't tell you that people weren't tormented. Most of those people who were following God, you're going to get tormented. But you need to follow that manual like it's the back of your hand. Don't be good. It tells you, if you handle a matter wisely, and you do good, you will have a happy life. And because of that, because I did that, it really worked. I put it into operation. That's just like you looking at the manual for the airplane. Like, if they say to take off, make sure when you take off, you lift the flaps up just as you're gliding, and you do it right before you leave, before you're gliding, then guess what? You're going to crash, and you have no other reason or any other warranty behind that, because you left connecting. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but you deterred from the instructions that were given to you in the manual. You can't get up at 30,000 feet and change the flaps directions, the airplane's nose gears direction downward, and have the flaps going close. You're going to go down and you're going to dive and you're going to crash. Okay. And that's just what the manual with God. Like, I had to go and apply these principles. Okay. This is why I am living. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. But it was like, what is it? It's something that increases. Okay, what does it say? Proverbs 16:20. I think that's the one. It was like, he that handled a matter wisely shall find good, and whosoever trusteth in the Lord, happy is he. That's how it is. Happy is he. Okay. I think that's Proverbs 16:20. And then it says the wise shall be prudent. I remember that now. That one is right behind. If that's 20, then 21, the wise shall be prudent. And the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. That's what it is. So I really had to be nice and pleasant to some of these people. Some of these people were really evil and mean to me. They were bitter. Some of them had people follow me, but that was okay. I was like, God, my connection is not with man. It's not with man. They are the resource. You are my help. You are my present help. You are the manufacturer. You created it. So I have to follow your guidelines and go, and it was a lot of obstacles where I was going, and I was looking, in different directions for it, but and you look and it'll look like it's almost the right thing, but God will like dismantle it. But anyhow, I jumped off a topic, but that's part of it. When I came today, it was a lady there, the one who was ridiculing me. She was saying all this stuff. I need to not dress. I need to dress down. They had me dressing like a hobo, and when I was homeless, I tell you not, like, I kept the orders of God to the T. I creased my pants even when I didn't have an iron to crease it with. Like, I'm a true Native American Haitian. We take rocks, baby. You not coming with me with that. So I made sure that I was together. I made my own makeup from scratch. Like, people was like, that was a blessing. I'm telling you, like, because I didn't have nothing. I mean, and it was like I was in the land, like, this is the land of the plenty where I'm at. It's crazy. But when I went through, this lady was doing so much stuff. But today, when I came, now all this stuff she was doing backhanded. All the stuff that she was saying that I was doing, she was doing. She was sleeping with clients. She was stealing items from the shelter, which I did know of. I did try to bring it to some people, but it was to the point where if I would have brought it to somewhere else, it would have deferred, because they were going to close this shelter because of that. So I had to pray to God and do the best that I could and be the better example, so they wouldn't close the shelter down. And I wasn't the only good example. I'm not saying that, but I had to operate out of that, and I had to be a real, like, be the best person. He that is showing insight in the matter will find good. He that is trusting in Jehovah. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So that's exactly what it's saying. Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about. So God really had me to operate. I kid you not. I'm not no superhero. I'm not nothing, okay? I was a kid in the trash can, okay? My mom threw me in the trash can. And some of the stuff she tells me, I believe now. My dad, he had 8 other kids. I was the youngest, but he wasn't like that, connected like that. He was always jumping from different places, but God really took care of me. So I'm not no different. That airplane, that manufacturer he doesn't make, a manufacturer of aircraft. They don't make just one aircraft. They might make a series of them, but they don't just make one. They make like groups of 500, 1,200, 3,000, like that. So I'm not different. That's just like God. I'm no different. I'm just a human being, just like you. All I had to do was just apply it. I had to apply it. So anyhow, so the lady, she was doing all this other stuff. She was sleeping with people. She was stealing. And it was some other people that saw her steal and didn't like her. And they wanted me to gang up with them and then go against her. which I was like, God tells you not to do that too. I don't care what it say. It say do not repay evil for evil. And even though she's doing bad, I cannot go against them. When those people were trying to cast spells on me and they were doing all this crazy stuff, guess what? They were serving. They were serving. So I couldn't go over there even though I was hurt and I wanted to. And I wanted to put them on blast and all that. No, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to do what he told me to do. And because of that, when I came back, all that stuff that they were saying that I was doing, all that energy went right back to her. It was like a whole repel act. Like all that stuff she was talking about me, I shouldn't wear clothes because my body type, 500. Yeah, the aircraft. Yeah, so all that stuff that she said that I did, it repelled. They finally, after the smoke cleared, they saw that she was the one that did it, that she was the one that was saying this. And they were getting tired of it because not only she was messing them up and messing up the counts and everything, but it was deterring the clients. And the clients were looking like, well, some of us really did come for help. Some of us really did come for that spiritual help, because you're looking on the outside. Yeah, you're giving them clothes, shelter, and food and that for a little bit. But in reality, you're going deeper. You want to dive deeper into it, and you want to give them words of encouragement, something that can pierce their souls. So when they do leave and when they do go around and when they don't have the necessary items and the things that they need, that they know that there's help and from a manufacturer other than somebody that you're seeing visually like you and me. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what we're supposed to be projecting out into the world. So yeah, it came out to where she was like, a lot of people saw it and they were doing it on its own. Now, I'm not saying, that's for her. But what I'm saying is that God showed me that he is in control of everything. He is the manufacturer and he keeps his warranty. He keeps his promise. His warranty is his promise. If you follow this, then this will happen. If you do this, then this will happen. It's a lot of stuff that I was being very lazy on. And he let me know, like, I will give your blessing. I will give this to someone else and then make you get jealous to the point where you need to do this. I had to hear that for myself. Like, that's what happened. Okay. It's a guy just pacing around the doggone cubicle. I don't know what is going on, but yeah, that's just, yeah. I wrote something. I should have wrote all that stuff down that I freaking just said, and I probably would have been a little bit better. But I felt like that was really on my chest, and God was really trying to get me out to go and just tell people, like, this is what it really happens. Like, I thought that I was losing my mind because I was trying to follow something that the manufacturer didn't give me. And when I said no to those jobs, like no to NPR and no to all these other big names and stuff, people was just like dogging me. People was talking crazy. People was like, why you didn't tell your ex? Why you didn't get him to go? All that stuff, all them bruises, all that other stuff. Why you didn't get him? Because I know it's a higher power and maybe he can get saved his doggone self. But I know because I was not operating off of my manual. I wasn't getting applied that way. Then I was messing up. So I needed to get back in line. I'm not in control of nobody else. I needed to get back in line. So, yeah. Look, yeah. I know I wrote something. I thought I wrote something. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. This is what it is. In the way. That's the only thing I wrote. Okay. Proverbs 12:28 said, in the way of righteousness is life, and its pathway is no death. So it's like, if you live righteous, what I've been saying before in my other videos too, if you live righteous, don't do what is right. Yeah, somebody slap you, you want to slap them back, okay? Look at the whole world. Look at the United States. Look at Haiti. Look at Dominica. Look at all over Colombia. Look at the Netherlands, okay? All these people are having stuff with their whole social governments and the people that are over them, and they go and they try to be rude to them. They try to be unjust. No. No, you need to act righteous. You need to follow that handbook the best way you know how. And when you can't, it's always a clause in there. Just like the warranty, it has a clause. If you do this, then if you do mess up on this, we can help you on this. But if you do this, then we won't cover that. If you repent, turn around, and say, I want to do right. I want to do better. I want to be a better person. Then it's gonna happen. So yeah, that is it. I know my phone is about to die because I was up in the study room and I am still filling out all this stuff for this doggone freaking bill to be passed. And it seems like it's going to get passed, but it is a lot of opposition because it is helping a lot of people. And when you come to that, you get a lot of attacks, a lot of criticism about that. So hopefully it gets done, but hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you who tuned in. Leave comments. Oh, thank you. Leave comments. You can message me, or you can, thank you so much, you can go on uh Facebook, because I finally got back on Facebook. So my name on there is Belle DE, and it's Belle B as in Bravo, ELLE. French name, yes, of course. Last name DE. It's not Dean because there's so many Deans, and I had so many people like hack in, so I had to put DE. So if you see that, definitely look me up. I'm thinking about going back on social media. It took me a minute because this world can be very brutal, but I just feel like it's a necessity now. So I'm about to get back on Instagram and everything else, Snapchat and all. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. If it's helping you, thank you so much. I'm just a vessel. If it can help someone else, please share it. Thanks.